guys, I'm Vishali Kikan and we are discussing thermochemistry or energetics. We are starting with the question number 1, which states given these standard enthalpy changes value in kilojoule per mole, delta HF NH3 in gas is minus 46, delta HF for NO in gas is 90, delta HF for H2O in gas is minus 242. Calculate the enthalpy change for the reaction. 4NH3 in gas plus 5O2 in gas gives 4NO in gas plus 6H2O in gas. So now we have to find out the enthalpy change, and we all know the enthalpy change can be found out by finding out the enthalpy change of the formation of products minus enthalpy change of the formation of reactants. Now we are going to focus on the enthalpy change for the formation of products, right? So for the formation of products, what is a product? 4NO plus 6H2O. For the formation of NO, it is given in the question itself, it requires 60 kilojoule per mole. So 4 times of, it is 90 kilojoule per mole. So 4 times 90. So 4 times 90 plus 6 times formation of enthalpy of H2O, that is 6 times minus 242, right? So it will be, if I add both of them, we will be getting minus 1092 kilojoule per mole. Similarly, I can find out the formation enthalpy of reactants. So here, the reactants, because oxygen is present in its molecular form only, we are not taking its enthalpy, we are taking it equal to 0. So 5 into 0 would be 0 only. So we are taking 4 into the formation enthalpy of NH3, which is given in the question minus 46. So 4 into minus 46 will be minus 184 kilojoule per mole. So the total enthalpy would be for the given reaction. So total enthalpy for the given reaction is the enthalpy of products in minus change in enthalpy of reactant. So minus 1092 minus of minus 184, which is minus 908 kilojoule per mole. Question 2 states given that formation enthalpy change for C2H6 in gaseous form is minus 85 kilojoule per mole, and this equation C2H2 plus 2H2 is forming C2H6 and the delta H for this is minus 311 kilojoule per mole. We have to find out the formation enthalpy for C2H2. Again, we are going to use the same formula. Delta H will be equal to delta HF products minus delta HF reactants. So delta H is given in the question itself, minus 311. What is the product? Product is C2H6, its delta HF is given minus 85. So minus 85 minus delta HF C2H2. Now here we are given with this 2H2 as well. So we are taking the 2H2, hydrogen is present in its molecular form only. So it's 0, right? So now delta HF of C2H2, if I rearrange all of these, so I will be getting minus 85 plus 311, that is equal to 226 kilojoule per mole. Coming to the next question, it states calculate enthalpy change for the process 3C in solid plus 4H2 in gas gives C3H8 in gas using the bond energy in kilojoule per mole. CH is 412, HH is 436, CC is 348, and the enthalpy change CS to CG. The change in enthalpy for converting the carbon from solid to gas is 715 kilojoule per mole. So 3CS plus 4H2 is giving me CH3, CH2, CH3, right? So we have to find out this, but we will be finding out with the help of this indirect path, right? So or indirect route, I can say. So now from 3C solid to 3C gaseous, what kind of energy I require? 3 into 715. So it was given in the question that C in solid is converted to C in gaseous and enthalpy change is 715. So if I have 3 times of that, so 3 times 715 plus we have 4 times of H2. H2 when converted into H. So now you can see over here HH bond energy is 436. We have to break this bonds so as to convert H2 into H. So 4 times into 436, right? So this much energy would be there. So 3 into 715 plus 4 into 436. Now here you can see 3C plus 6 plus 8AH are going to form CH3, CH2, CH3. So now here we will be having the various bonds. We are having 8 CNH bond. So CNH bond is having the enthalpy 412. So 8 times 412 would be there. Other than that, we have 2 CC bond. So CC bond is having the enthalpy 348. So 2 times into 348. So if I see from this indirect route, so this is in the same direction, we have to take this value in positive. So 3 into 715 plus 4 into 436. This is in the reverse direction of our path. So this arrow is taken. All of the terms over here are taken in the negative. So minus 8 into 412, minus 2 into 348. So if I add all of them, we will be getting minus 103 kilojoule per mole. Right, coming to the Born-Haber cycle, which is a very important concept, and I hope you will be understanding it very greatly. So the Born-Haber cycle is an enthalpy level diagram. We are going to understand the change in enthalpy with the help of the Born-Haber cycle. How? With the breaking down of the formation of ionic compound in a series of simpler steps. If I have any ionic compound, like let's suppose here we have taken NaCl. NaCl is an ionic compound. We have to take the various series of simple steps for the formation of NaCl. Like if I have Na in solid and half Cl2 in gaseous form, we will be having the change in enthalpy of formation and we will be forming Na positive NaCl, right? So here we will be forming, this is the formation of NaCl over here, right? This, because here we have a downward arrow, it's an endothermic reaction, right? So now coming to the lattice enthalpy. So this was my formation enthalpy. From NaS and half Cl2 we were forming NaCl. Coming to the lattice enthalpy. So now here this arrow represents the enthalpy. Enthalpy is increasing in upward direction. We know NaS plus half Cl2 for the formation enthalpy, it is forming NaCl, right? If I want to again make it in the form of Na positive plus Cl negative in the gaseous form, so we will be having the lattice enthalpy. This much heat is taken away. So this is an exothermic reaction, right? So this arrow in the upward direction represents the exothermic reaction. Okay, now coming to the full cycle. So this is my Born-Haber cycle for the formation of NaCl, and we can understand all of the steps over here. So now here, this is my NaS plus half Cl2. The formation enthalpy would be there and it is forming the NaCl, right? So after that, NaS can be converted into the Nag, the solid sodium can be converted into the gaseous sodium, and this is the change in atomization enthalpy. So this is the first step over here. After that, what we have to do? We have to now convert this Na into Na positive. This is the first ionization energy of Na. So we are ionizing the sodium. We are taking out an electron from the sodium. So here you can see it is taking energy. Arrow is in upward direction. It is exothermic reaction, and now here you can see it is having the energy 494, and now you can see we have Na positive in gaseous plus electron plus half Cl2 in gaseous form. Now again we are going to do the atomization of Cl2. So half Cl2 is converted into Cl. We are going to do the atomization of Cl, right? So this is the H80 of Cl2. After that we have the first electron affinity of Cl. Cl is taking this electron, right? So it is going to release the energy, and here you can see Na positive plus Cl negative are formed. So this is the delta H lattice. We can find out the delta H lattice from this direct path. This is my direct path, right? Other than that, we can find out the delta H lattice from the indirect path. So all of the values are given and we can find out from the indirect path. So delta H lattice would be equal to minus of minus 411, because this is in the arrow is in the reverse direction. So plus 411 plus 109 plus 494 plus 121 minus 364, right? So we will be getting 771 kilojoule per mole as the delta H lattice. Coming to the question based upon the Born-Haber cycle. Draw Born-Haber cycle for magnesium oxide and use it to work out the second electron affinity of oxygen delta H in kilojoule per mole. So delta H atomization of Mg is given 150, delta H atomization of O2 is given 248, first ionization energy is given 736, second ionization energy is given 1450, first electron affinity is given minus 142, formation enthalpy is given which is minus 602, delta H lattice is also given which is 3889. So now this is my Born-Haber cycle. We have MgS and we have half O2. So here this is the enthalpy of formation, delta HF which is minus 602, right? And it is going to form MgO. With the help of delta H, this is delta H lattice, it is going to form Mg2 positive plus O2 negative, right? Now Mgs is there and half O2 is there. We are going to give it energy to form Mg in gaseous form plus half O2 in gaseous form. So now here 150 kilojoule per mole of energy is given. It is given in the question itself. Then we have the first ionization of magnesium. So Mg positive plus half O2 plus electron is formed. Then we have the second ionization energy of the magnesium. So then we have Mg2 positive plus half O2 plus 2 electron. Now here we have the atomization of oxygen. So Mg2 positive plus oxygen plus 2 electron. Now after that we have the first electron affinity. So first electron affinity is given in the question itself, which is now Mg2 positive plus O negative plus electron. Now after that we have to find out this. So this is the second electron affinity of the oxygen, which can be found out from the direct route because it is not given in the question. We can find out from the indirect route. So here you can move from here up to here and then up to here. So now if you start from here, then you have to move in the opposite direction of the arrow. We will be taking plus 142, right? Then we have to move in the opposite direction of the arrow, again minus 248, minus 1450, minus 736, minus 150. So now this arrow is in the same direction that we are moving, so we are taking it as minus 602 only. This is also in the same direction, plus 3889, and with the help of that you can find out the second electron affinity of the oxygen, that is 845 kilojoule per mole. I hope you understood all of the things. Thank you so much.